Now tuned in to the show where you learn the discipline to show up day after day to do the work, the confidence to put yourself out there boldly and authentically, and the mental toughness to continue showing up, doing the work, putting yourself out there even when the success you've expected to achieve is yet to be achieved. And on top of all this, you get a huge dose of personal initiative, which is the go-getter energy that moves anyone out there, especially yourself, to go and make things happen instead of waiting for things to happen. And we put all this together into one mindset, philosophy, one bundle, one package. There's a book on the subject, hardcover book, by the way, and this daily masterclass that is called Work on Your Game. My name is Dre Baldwin, also known as Dre All Day, and welcome to the show. Today's topic is the one day at a time philosophy. Now, if you follow my story on Instagram or Facebook, I'm talking about the social media story. I'm not talking about my life story. If you follow the stories that I post every day, you see me use this hashtag all the time. Whenever I show you some buildings under construction, is one day at a time. This is exactly how a building gets built. It's actually how anything gets built, one day at a time. That you got people who show up, they do their job, they follow the plan, and eventually you got a finished product. I mean, that's how all of us have become who we are. Whether you were doing it on purpose or it happened by accident, it's all happening one day at a time. So this mentality, and the reason why I use that hashtag and I post that all the time, is to drill this mindset of discipline into everybody's mentality. It's also about mental toughness, because you got to keep showing up doing that job, even though some days you're like, when is this ever going to be done? And personal initiative, you got to move yourself to actually do the work every time, and the confidence that this is actually going to produce a result. So you can see how all 40 core elements of the work on your game philosophy go into this whole work on your one day at a time, the one day at a time mentality. So this mentality is a discipline that you would benefit from when it is used properly and you understand why it's important. That's what we're going to talk about here today, that one day at a time philosophy. Point number one, to execute, again, the topic again is the one day at a time philosophy. To execute the one day at a time philosophy, you must have plans in place before beginning action. I'll repeat, you must have plans in place before beginning action. How often do you just jump into doing stuff without having any kind of plan, without having any kind of idea what you're going to do, when you're going to do it, how, why? You just go straight into it. And maybe if you're talented enough, you can make things work that way. Maybe if you try enough things, you'll eventually find something that works. Listen, this process has worked for me many times. I didn't plan at all, and I just started doing stuff, and I eventually figured it out. But as I explained in Masterclasses number 1553 and 1554, those topics are why you need a plan and how to make a plan. So I laid the whole thing out for you. Again, 1553 and 1554. Understand that having the plan in place is what allows you to know that you can take it one day at a time to get there to the end, and allows you to know that you're actually going to produce a result, because you got a plan that shows you how you get from where you are to where you want to get to. And as I already said, I admittedly didn't used to think this way. I would just start doing shit and hope to figure it out along the way. And if I was doing something that the timing was right, I was in the right place, I had the right skills, maybe had the right talent, maybe got a little bit of luck to shine on me, then I was able to make it work, despite the fact that I did not plan at all. But what I have learned is that results come much more efficiently and much more predictably and faster when there are plans in place, because you can look at what you're doing and say, okay, I'm going to do this, and this is going to be the result, or this is what should happen here. And then when I do this, this thing should happen next. And then with this should happen next. And then you can compare the reality of what has occurred with your plan and ask yourself, okay, is this actually working or is it not? Is this getting me the result that I thought it was going to get? Excuse me. Or is it not? That's what planning allows you to do. Planning allows you to predict your outcomes so that you can see them ahead of time. So you're not just flying by the seat of your pants, hoping that things work out, or finding yourself wondering what the hell is going on when certain things occur. If you have a plan in place, you can look at what's going on, compare it to your plan, and ask yourself, okay, why is it discrepancy? Where is this happening? What did I miss? What am I not paying attention to? What did I do too much of? What am I not doing enough of? What did I just not even notice in the first place? Where do I need to make adjustments? Where do I need to get more resources? Where do I not have the right information? Where are my accountability gaps? Where are my knowledge gaps? Where are my skill gaps? These are all things that you can ask yourself by comparing your plan to what has actually happened. But if there is no plan, then when something happens, you're just looking at it, dumbfounded, wondering what the hell you should do next. You don't want to be in that position, which many of us end up in When we don't have a plan, you're always going to end up in that position. So I've learned, as I said, results are much more efficient and predictable with a plan. Planning also holds you accountable for making sense of your actions before taking them. I mean, think about it. When you have a plan in place and you say, okay, I want to get from here where I am, point A, I'm 160 pounds and don't have any muscles, and I want to get to 220 pounds and have big muscles, like be the size of a linebacker in the NFL, then you start looking at your plan for how you're going to do it. You got to hold yourself accountable when you look at those plans. Okay, does this make sense? Does it make sense that I'm going to be able to do this in the next 90 days? Probably not. When you look at the plan and you see what you would need to do in order to make that happen, you're like, okay, take 5 protein shakes a day. That's probably not sustainable. I probably can't do that. Bench press 300 pounds today when I never lifted weights ever in my life. I probably shouldn't do that. I might end up dropping a bar on my throat and killing myself. I probably shouldn't do that. So when you put a plan in place, you will look at your plan and you can ask yourself, just based off your personal reasonability and judgment and intelligence, does my plan equate to the outcome that I want to get? Can I see myself realistically, and again, I don't use that phrase too often, but realistically, can I see myself executing each step here? Can I see myself doing all of these things in this period of time? So for example, you want to start your own YouTube channel and you want to have 100 videos on there, but you want to have it done by next week. All right, can you record 100 YouTube videos in 1 week and edit them and publish all of them? Can you do that? Is that reasonable based on your ability, based on your time, based on your availability, based on your skill level? Is that reasonable? If you can't see it as being reasonable, then that is how your plan holds you accountable, because you can look at that and say, okay, that kind of doesn't make any sense. That's kind of ridiculous. Let me adjust this plan. Maybe instead of doing it in a week, maybe I'll try to do that in the next 6 months. So then I can make a video, every other day or something like that, instead of making 10 a day or whatever it would take for you to get that done. So planning allows you to look at what you're doing and ask yourself, all right, can I hold myself accountable for actually doing this part of the plan? Can I do that? Do I have enough people on my side to actually get these things done? Because if you look at your plan and you see there are some things where you have a skill gap, meaning you need someone to edit a video or you need someone to fix the flat tire on your car, but you don't know how to do it, then who's the person that's going to actually handle that part? Because if you can't do it and you don't have anyone around you who can do it, then how the hell can it be part of your plan? It can't be part of your plan. You need to find someone who can do that so the plan can be executed. So if you have any gaps that you're not going to be able to do yourself, or it's just not realistic for you to be able to get it done, looking at your plan before you take action will allow you to notice this, and you can make adjustments ahead of time, okay? All professionals work from plans. Amateurs just do stuff and try to figure it out along the way. I'll say it again. All professionals work from plans. Amateurs just do stuff and try to figure it out along the way. Now, are there times in life where you may just have to start something because you don't have time to plan? You just got to do stuff and you'll figure it out along the way? Yes. Is a plan always going to be perfect? Hell no. And no plan is ever going to be perfect. So there are times in life where you're going to be doing stuff and you will have to figure things out along the way because you couldn't plan for certain things because you had no idea what to expect. So you couldn't plan for everything. But you can at least try to plan. Just taking the time to plan, to even think about, all right, what do I need to do first, second, third, fourth to get to the outcome that I want to get to? Just taking that time alone, that discipline, that little bit of discipline right there is often what separates the amateurs from the pros. Just the fact that you even thought about thinking about it. Point number 2, today's topic is the 1 day at a time philosophy. To execute this philosophy, you have to be quick, but you don't hurry. Maybe you've heard that saying before. What does that mean? Be quick, but don't hurry means have a sense of urgency about what you're doing, meaning don't be dragging your feet. Don't act like you could just take forever to get to what you're going to get to. But at the same time, don't try to force the issue when the issue is not available. I talked how your lack of urgency is your biggest problem in Masterclass number 1172, and how a sense of urgency, this key success tool, how it can be developed in Masterclass number 408. So those are 2 Masterclasses on urgency, 408 and 1172. So yes, you want to have a sense of urgency. Yes, you want to move with you want to have a pep in your step. Now move with some energy. Do not drag your feet. Do not waste time. Do not tell yourself that you can take forever to get to the things that you want to get to. But at the same time that you're doing that, do not try to force the issue. Don't hurry. Don't try to rush things through. As I talked about in the episode on the first day, how to handle the first day, which is episode number 1604, you have to pace yourself. Respect the fact that everything is not going to happen in one day. Oh, actually, no. The episode on the first day, is Masterclass number 1262. And Masterclass number 1604 is how to pace yourself. There's two different Masterclass I'm talking about. So again, the first day is Masterclass number, let me tell you that one more time, 1262. Then Masterclass 1604 is how to pace yourself. So two different Masterclasses there. You have to respect that everything is not going to happen in one day. All right, even though you have the goal, you can see it in your mind. Like we talked about a couple days ago when we talk about material things. Yes, you can see it in your mind. You also have to respect that it's not all going to happen at once. So this is why you have plans in place, because when you have a plan, you can see the journey from the starting line that, okay, this is going to take me 3 years to execute this plan, or it's going to take me 30 days to execute this plan. So you're not on day 4 wondering why you haven't gotten to the same outcome that you would expect on day 27, because you have a plan there. But if you just start doing stuff and you don't have a plan in place, then on the 3rd day or the 8th day or the 19th day, you're wondering why you don't have the end game outcome when it's actually going to take you 7 months to get to the goal. So this is what I mean when I say be quick but don't hurry. When you have a plan in place, you can do this. When you don't have a plan, you have no idea when is the time that you need to step on the gas and be urgent, and when is the time you need to slow down and take your time and pace yourself and not force it. A plan will allow you to know how to ration out your resources and how to ration out your energy. This is why you have plans. You can see the whole journey from the beginning and not fry your brain or burn up all your resources trying to make it happen immediately. And not worry yourself wondering, when is this going to happen? Or is it ever going to happen? Because you have a plan. You can see, okay, I'm 1 month into this, but this is a 10-month plan. So I can see that I don't have much results yet, but I still got 9 months to go in this plan. So I understand where I'm at. So you won't be worried. You won't be frustrated. You won't be asking people, man, is this ever going to work out? I have no idea if I'm ever going to get there. Everything looks terrible right now, despite the fact I've been working hard every day for a month. When you have a plan that shows you as a 10-month thing, you're only 1 month in, you can relax. All right, you can breathe easy. You can go to sleep at night because you know that you are only 10% of the way there. But if you don't have a plan and you've been working hard for 30 days, you have no idea how long this is supposed to take. You have no idea what the journey is actually going to be. So now you're like, all right, maybe I got to be more urgent. Maybe I got to work harder. Maybe I need more information. Maybe I need more help. I get messages from people all the time who are in this frame of mind. They're in this Chicken Little, the sky is falling down frame of mind, not because they're doing the wrong thing, not because they don't have skills, not because they don't have the right idea, not because they cannot reach outcomes. It is because they don't have a plan in place. So after they've done a certain amount of output, energy, time, money, attention, and focus, they're wondering why they haven't gotten a certain result yet, but they don't have a plan in place. So they have no idea what to even expect of themselves, let alone to expect of the actions that they're taking. And this is where this second point, being quick but don't hurry, fits into this 1 day at a time philosophy. You can't say things 1 day at a time if you don't know how many days it's going to be. Now, if it's 100 days, all right, everybody here can count, right? Can you count to 100? Okay, then you know it's going to be 100 days. You can go 1 day at a time. But if it's 1 day, if I'm telling you 1 day at a time and you don't have a plan, you have no idea where you're going or how or when you're going to get there, it can be very frustrating to hear this 1 day at a time thing. So any of you ever heard me talking about that, or you hear me talking about it right now and you're trying to wonder, how could you ever actually implement this? The way you do it is to make a goddamn plan. Okay, how many times do I need to say it? This is why you have plans. Do what you're supposed to do at every point. Trust that the next step will be there for you to do tomorrow. If you have a plan, it will be. If you don't have a plan, tomorrow you got to figure it out when you get there. And you don't want to do that. That's amateur talk. That's how it works, ladies and gentlemen. Basic and simple. These are concepts that anyone can adhere to, but most people do not adhere to because they just don't want to step into the realm of professionalism. But I've explained to y'all how to be a professional in many times. I've done about 15 master classes on professionalism. I'll tell you about a couple of them. Number 931, what is expected when the word professional is next to your name? Number 913, how to treat your desired career or business professionally before it is your career, before you become a professional at what you're doing. Masterclass number 619, Masterclass 619, no, professionals do not need motivation. And I have one on professionalism that I want to make sure I get to y'all. And let me see where I find it. How to professionalize your business. Masterclass number 1310. So again, I got about 15 masterclasses on professionalism. I'm not going to list them all to you, but I just gave you a few right there. Make sure you are checking those, taking notes on them, and listening to them twice. Point number 3. Today's topic is the 1 day at a time philosophy. The process is everything. You're going to take things one thing at a time, one day at a time. You must respect the process. I talked about the process. Let me make sure I give you the right number of that masterclass. It's number 616. Respect and trust the process. Knowing that there's an outcome that you're going to get to in the future, and you're right now in the present, you have to respect that there is a process. Respect the fact that you're not going to get all the results in one day or 3 months or even a year, depending on what you're working on. Every professional, keyword professional, has a process for how they get things done. Amateurs just try to just make things up along the way. And again, if an amateur is talented enough and the timing is right and you got some luck on your side, maybe you can make that look good, but it won't be sustainable. It won't last. Eventually you're gonna run into a problem. If you watch LeBron James practice, we don't see his practice, we only see the game. But if you watched him practice, if you watched Cristiano Ronaldo, soccer player, practice, if you watch some Broadway performers in, what do they call those? Rehearsals. If you watch a surgeon getting ready to operate, or you watch any great performer when they're doing their performance thing. If you watch me, if you saw the behind the scenes of me getting ready and doing the recordings of this very show, I guarantee you're going to notice some similarities. And the main similarity you're going to notice is that they all do things the same way every single time in preparation for performance or practice. Key, performance or practice. The way LeBron James gets ready for a game is very similar to how he gets ready for practice. I guarantee it. I don't know LeBron. I've never seen LeBron practice. I've seen him in the game, but I guarantee you the way he gets ready for the game is the same way he gets ready for practice. I don't even see him get ready for the game. All we see when the game comes on, we only see the layup line. We don't see all the stuff that happens before the cameras come on, right? Ronaldo, a Broadway performer, a surgeon, all of those people, they have similarities in how they get ready to do their thing. The same way every time. This is what professionals do. They are used to doing things the same way every time. Amateurs, they get bored with doing things the same way every time. They need variety. They need a magician to pull a rabbit out of the hat. They need fun. They need entertainment. And this is why they are amateurs. And this is why amateurs get paid like amateurs, if they get paid at all. Professionals are professionals because they are consistent. They do the same thing every time. They perform the same way every time. They produce consistent results with little variation over time. And that's why people pay them. You want to be a professional, this is what you got to do. Is this monotonous, doing the same things the same way every time? Can it become boring? Hell yes. This is why not everybody can be a professional. I'm not here to tell you you need to be a professional. I'm telling you what it takes, and you decide whether you want to be one or not. But I'm telling you what the game is. Either you're in the game or you're out the game. Everybody can't be a professional. All right, the shiny objects that come with being a professional, the trappings of success, as they say, okay, that's not what the job is really about. This is the job, is doing these things. Now, we just talked a couple days ago about wanting and getting the material things that you want in your life. It's all good if you want the material things. The trappings of success is great. But understand that the reason that you can afford those trappings is because of your professional delivery. It's not the trappings that allow you to be professional. It's the professionalism that allows you to get the trappings. All right, so there's nothing wrong with wanting them. Just understand how you get them. Or understand the game. All right, don't let the game play you. You play the game. I'm giving y'all the game every single day. That's why this show is called what it's called. But this is the job, being a professional, taking things one day at a time, which you cannot do unless you follow the points that I've given you here today. So let's recap today's class, which is the one day at a time philosophy. If you follow my social media story, you see me every day posting pictures or videos of buildings under construction. They might look exactly the same from day to day, but understand over the course of time, those things get done. This is the mentality. It is a discipline that benefits anyone when they use it properly and understand its importance, which you should understand by the end of today's class. Number one, have plans in place before you begin actions. Amateurs do not do this. All professionals work from plans. Amateurs just figure things out as they go. And again, if you're talented enough, you can make it look like it's working, but it will not sustain itself. Point number two, be quick, but don't hurry. Be urgent, but don't force it. In the episodes on the first day and in 1604 on Pace Yourself, respect that things do not happen in one day. When you have a plan, you can see the journey from its starting line, not fry your brain wondering when or if things are going to happen for you. This is basic and it's simple. Anybody can do this. Most people don't because most people are too smart for the basics. Point number three, the process is everything. Every professional has a process for how they get things done. You watch any athlete, any actor, any surgeon, any performer in any area of life, I guarantee you they do the same things the same way every single time in preparation for their practices and their performances. Is it monotonous or boring? Yes and yes. And that's why not everybody can be a professional. Not everybody will be a professional. The shiny objects that come with professional life is not what this is about. It's not about the followers or the money or the cars or the attention, even though you can have those things and you can want them if you want. But understand that things that allow those are you doing the job of being a professional. That means showing up and doing your job one day at a time. Work on your game. Dre all day.